incredible stuff lately.
Before we get to find out what anything happens of leg day being skipped or not, we have some kind words from the king and a few items that we must collect, one of which will be a key, of course.
Well, there's one of the items that we need to access Erdrick's token. Along with the obligatory key and I believe a torch.
It does look like the obligatory key, some gold actually was picked up, so possibly you're going to look for a town to maybe spend some of that gold.
Oh, that's right. 3 of our runners are going to save their gold in case they come across a town. Armor prices are randomized, so that could be enough to buy all kinds of goodies.
We could get the fabled 1 gold silver shield, or everything could be more expensive than you.
Well, what's wrong with paying $13,000 for a bamboo pole?
It better be jewel encrusted, is all. And we have our first kill actually over on Highspirits' side.
And he gets a couple levels.
A couple of levels, but did you see those stat increases? Ooh, for 2 levels, that was awful low. A couple of empty eye levels, that was.
To be fair, our starting stats were pretty good. 30 HP is not a bad start. Well, there's our big swamp. We're not crossing that anytime soon. Just need some scorpions. This will be a night.
Well, we have our eyes on the Rainbow Drop Cave already.
Shoobinator finding out that ghosts aren't very nice, but brisulph working on the Stray Kima, and Melee gets a magician for a lot of experience. And Bry gets his Stray Kima for slightly less, but still good experience.
Yeah, we have 3 of our 4 runners on the board here, and actually brisulph hit level 4 with the that.
Yeah, one of the challenges of Chaos is getting off level 1, and looks like this is okay. We got 3 of our runners on level 4, and Shoob hopefully will be off level 1 short.
And speaking of that swamp, we have some more swamp near the castle to the northeast, so exploration being barred by the swamp right now.
Yeah, as I noted in chat, it's nice that there are those magicians there to help you grind up some levels early on.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing much of that gold that we started with being kept. Levels are... Ooh, and just as I say that, we have a sighting of our first town, and it is Cole.
Commentator's blessing. Let's see what he gets here. Oh, it's nothing.
The old sack of nothing.
The shop could have something good, though. Oh, there's your sale of the century right.
That's 2 sales, even. Silver shield and the magic armor. Well then.
They're going to be much more resistant to attacks now.
And Shoobinator actually starting over here, possibly choosing a different stat build.
I think that's the same name, right? I wonder if he just reset to keep the gold, maybe?
Oh, you know, that's actually possible. Don't think I saw a town setting on Shoob's side, but Shoobinator could certainly be trying to go and look for one and hope that's the way. It'll certainly help Shoobinator live better. I don't know about kill better, though.
Well, the best offense is a good defense. Well, I think that's backwards, but close enough.
Well, in this case, it would certainly hold true. If you can survive the attacks long enough, you can whittle away the health.
Oh, but Shoobinator finds a knight, which is not having any of it. Meanwhile, brisulph found a Drakey, which is one of those terrible chaos enemies that you can't damage and can't damage you, but the Drakey finally runs away and lets him.
Blocks you from running just so that it has the pleasure of running.
At that point, I think you're just happy to see that thing go.
And Shoobinator will be happy to see a town, so that gold that was saved will be put to good use here.
Scorpion Max asking if we spotted the noodle. I don't think we found the official noodle yet. We found some things that are nice to kill. brisulph got a couple Drakeys. Highspirits found that magician. MeleeWizard did too. They both give some good experience.
Even if Shoobinator doesn't happen to find a noodle here, we'll certainly find things that he'll be able to live against a little easier now.
Yeah, that plus 44 defense for 60-some gold is definitely going to help him. Just not against the Warlock.
And we actually have Highspirits, who's made it to level 6 with only 510 experience so far, and working on another one of these Drakima.
Yeah, he's had a nice grind going up there, and he's built himself up a nice little experience lead in the early game so far.
The question is, how many levels are going to be needed to be able to actually break out and start doing some exploration? We have a lot of swamps, so something to heal with, whether it be herbs from Cole or the heal spell of some sort would be useful.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Cole has a lot of goodies for these runners, so it'll be interesting to see if brisulph can catch up with his equipment or when Highspirits or MeleeWizard go looking for it.
And there is a level for Shoobinator, so Shoobinator out the gate. And ooh, looky here.
It's a little village.
It's a shopping mall, even.
Oh, the shopping mall in the swamp has a nice little flame sword that Shoob is just short.
That'll certainly be a nice thing to pick up here, but maybe we can find a nice broadsword or a hand axe for the moment.
Look at that commentator's blessing. 14 gold hand axe coming up.
Well, that'll certainly make for a nice weapon in the interim until enough for the flame sword is available.
But that is all the best armor you can buy, all the best gear you can buy for $450 or so? $450.
Can't be upset at a less than 1,000 gold shopping spree, and you've got all the best gear money can buy.
Yeah, that's definitely going to help our runners finish this up fast.
And these Drakimas here, Shoobinator finding in the desert just to the southeast of those towns, will go down very easily at this point.
Highspirits picks up level 8 and gets a whole bunch of everything except no power.
Were there any spells had?
I missed it. I don't think so, but he's on his way over to, I believe, Cole, and he's about to get his
Well, that skeleton would beg to differ with you there.
I don't think that that skeleton's going to deter Highspirits. MeleeWizard's got Cole sighted too, so all of our runners are going to have some pretty nice armor. Shoob's found a Drakima, which he should be able to get. There it goes.
I think Shoobinator might just be practicing some grinding strats here a little early in this desert with the Drakimas being rather plentiful.
Well, it's working out. He's up to a nice amount of experience. Highspirits gets level 8 and still no. Yeah, after that rough start, Shoobinator just picking up another level here, and he's second in experience all of a sudden, so he's come back really nice.
And we've got Dragon Scale pickup for MeleeWizard. Gives you an extra 2 defense to go on top of the rather high defense you got from the shield and armor there. And yeah, I figured herbs would be a pickup that'd be happening rather soon to try and survive some of that swamp.
Yeah, and what looks like it's going to be a late heal seed, herbs your only source of healing, so definitely important to pick up.
Ooh, and I think Shoobinator was trying to head back into Cantlin there to pick up that flame sword, but a blue dragon said no sword for you.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but he doesn't have too far to go to get back up to that flame sword.
I've seen a lot of enemies that have some power behind them here early on.
Bry getting his double level up there, and he's up to 6 now, along with Shoob. Highspirits having trouble getting through those skeletons. He's still heading over towards Cole, but hasn't gotten there yet.
And right now he's going toe-to-toe with this Star Wyvern.
Very dodgy Star Wyvern it looks.
And the Kaishin Nagata there. You get so hopeful when you hear the sound of that crit come in, and then it dodges.
That is the worst sound of all, those back-to-back. Shoob picks up another level on the way back to Cantlin, and he's got enough gold for that flame sword now, so he'll probably be upgrading once he gets through the streak.
Well, his perseverance pays off. He finally gets the Star Wyvern down for 232, so well worth the fight.
So Shoobinator, after his rough start, is off. He's got all the best gear in the game, and he's only a few hundred experience points behind Highspirits. So again, really interesting to see if he's going to be able to catch up or not.
Highspirits encountering yet more swamp, so rather swampy seed, and we haven't even made it to week 7 and 8 yet.
Yeah, this feels like a preview of Big Swamp or something. Shoobinator working on a Magidrakey down there. Highspirits and brisulph look like they're doing the near castle grind, and MeleeWizard can't quite get that green dragon in the other corner.
And a question in chat: what is the critical hit rate? It is indeed 1 in 64 chance of landing a critical hit.
Bry picking up that really nice level 7. We'll see if he explores or not. Looks like he might be heading.
Hey, we have some spells. Nothing of the more variety, but spells nonetheless.
Yeah, we can baby hurt and put things to sleep. That sleep spell will be really handy. Well, right now and later on.
And if we need to, we can get outside in a hurry.
think Highspirits might be about to stumble across Cole finally. He got past that skeleton. Melee finally getting off level 3 with 1 HP. He can't get out of the swamp, but I'm sure he's happy to be off level 3.
Yeah. And at least gets the knowledge that there was nothing useful in that swamp.
We've got a pair of 1 HPs going here. Highspirits working on that wolf lord with 1 HP.
And he was able to put it to sleep, so... Oh, and it woke up just to run just in time there.
Well, that's okay. He's still going to get Highspirits into Cole and get him all of his armor with 1 HP to spare.
Now you have to wonder, with the starting gold that you got, and 16 minutes in here, and you're just now getting to Cole, how many of the other runners have made it to this town already? That's what would be going through my mind, at least.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be different if there was a big weapon there. Because if you're 16 minutes into a Chaos Seed and you have level 9 with 1300 experience, you've got to be feeling okay about it. That said, Shoobinator down there in our corner there, despite his slow start, he has actually surpassed Highspirits now, and he's off exploring all kinds of corners.
And we have our level 10 with a generous increase in speed. Ooh, and an all-important hurt more.
Yeah, no healing, but I'm sure they'll be glad to see that hurt more when they get to level 10. Ooh, and Highspirits getting to level 10 also. He'll get his hurt more as well. So at this point, we found a whole bunch of our towns, but we could use some caves and some treasure chests, because these runners are going to need to still find their 2 other quest items, the Staff of Rain and Stones of Sunlight, if they're going to get access into Sharlock. So a cave or 2 would be kind of nice to stumble across.
Either a cave or something that would give access to a couple of caves would be some keys if we could find them.
Yep, keys are always good.
Well, I mean, we've seen Garenham, and we've got the castle, which has a staircase in it. So I mean, that would give us 2 caves at least.
Plus access to a whole bunch of other treasure chests in Garenham and Tentacle too.
And MeleeWizard just patrolling just outside of range of seeing those towns, too.
Yeah, I think he's hunting for Drakeemas out there, which isn't a bad idea, but if he'd just go 1-2 steps over, he'd see those towns and be in good shape. I always hate that when a town or cave is just off screen and you miss it for several minutes. Highspirits wanders into Cantlin, and he's going to get a very, very cheap flame.
And we see a level 11 on Shoobinator's side, but didn't get a spell check, so not sure what we might have gotten.
I think I briefly saw there that didn't heal show up at the top of that spell list, I think, maybe?
Wow, except for the minimal power increase, that was a pretty good level there. Double digits on the other 3 stats.
And looks like at some point, heal and heal more made appearances, so that was definitely an excellent level.
At level 12, at just a little over 2,000 experience, and you get the heal more and the hurt more. Gotta be feeling good about that.
Yeah, Shoobinator's got all the spells he needs, and he's off exploring the world already. Highspirits, I'm sure, will be right behind him, getting 11 and 12 shortly here.
And we actually have a new town being spotted by MeleeWizard, also buried in the swamp, with plenty more swamp to go around.
Highspirits finding it too. This does feel like big swamp.
And a rightful placement of that town, being that it is the destroyed town of Hawksness.
Even though neither Highspirits or Melee have Hurtmore yet, they're going to go check out the spot. You never know, this Guardian could run away or do something.
Well, Highspirits did get the Hurtmore, but it is a rogue scorpion, which we've seen already as a creature not to be trifled.
Oh, that's right. He does have Hurtmore. That came at 10, that's right. But yeah, the Rogue Scorpion, not interested in their Hurtmore either.
And here is a Hawksness or a Shoobinator who's already tangled with the Rogue Scorpion, so we may be getting our check here and seeing if it holds the armor, or if it holds a flute, or if it's another bag of nothing. It looks like we're starting to get some exploration from everyone here.
And one of the wonderful things about Chaos, we have Shoobinator going toe-to-toe with the slime.
Doing quite a bit on the physical end, and also has Hurtmore, just in case the physicals weren't enough. Good old Slime's getting some revenge, finally.
Ooh, Shoobinator gets the Rogue Scorpion to sleep.
No luck on the Hurtmores, though.
Well, he's getting good sleep luck at least, but yeah, absolutely no luck on the Hurtmores.
I think that was a maximum for the Rogue Scorpion staying asleep there, too.
So Shoob has given up on Hurtmore and is just hacking away at this Rogue Scorpion.
And probably decided saving the MP for the heal mores was more prevalent.
Yeah, that seems like a good strategy. He should be able to get him. He has one more heal more left, and he should be able to get enough attacks in, I'd hope.
And yeah, bringing up a good point in chat. Enemies actually don't have a max sleep that they can stay for. They can stay asleep forever, whereas the player has a maximum of 6 turns. But I believe that was 6 turns on that Rogue Scorpion, so stayed asleep for a player. And armor was in Hawksness, so definitely a item that will be wanted.
Yeah, Shoobinator picked up a level and the armor, so that was a really good Rogue Scorpion prize for him. As brisulph finds the Rogue Scorpion, and MeleeWizard has gotten up to level 10 and found the double town. Highspirits also taking a go at this Rogue Scorpion, so at least you get your armor once you take him out, but he's definitely requires some resources.
Good news for Highspirits here is he has acquired Heal More.
Yeah, so Highspirits going with the same strategy of just slashing through the Rogue Scorpion and using Heal More and giving up on that hurt.
We get a look at the Rogue Scorpions, and we see why. 15-16 hurt resistance, so yeah, no wonder that wasn't working. And we have a Dark Cave on Shoobinator's side, probably looking like it was Swamp South.
Yeah, I think it was Swamp South, so we'll get a look at the Swamp Continent in a second here. Highspirits gets rid of that Rogue Scorpion, and now he's got his Erdrick's arm. And MeleeWizard without the Heal More can't quite get him.
Well, a good-looking other side of the swamp we got here. We have the Stones of Sunlight Cave, so free chest and another.
Yeah, I believe this has got to be Breckenridge or Rimmelsdar, right? We have seen every other town. Oh, it's Rimmelsdar. So where are our keys?
That is definitely a great find for Shoobinator there. We'll have keys, we'll have a chest after opening 2 doors here. Plus, we're going to have access to the chest in Garanham and the chests that are in Dantage.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of opportunities now for Shoobinator to find his Erdrick sword and his Staff of Rain and Stones of Sunlight. Meanwhile, Highspirits right behind him, about to get to Rimmelsdar.
And Highspirits able to take the quick way out, having enough MP still to cast an outside. And not too bad. Not a required item being found here in Rimmelsdar, but we do get a death necklace, sometimes a useful item.
It's possibly useful, but in Chaos, it's always a risk with DL1 having unknown stats. Always a risk to put that death necklace on, at least the first time down.
And speaking of Dragonlord 1, that's something else we haven't had a sighting on yet, is Sharp.
Oh, look, more swamp. Maybe it's down here in this swamp. That'd be a fitting place for it with this season.
Ah, so much swamp. Highspirits must be at least happy. He loves the big swamps.
brisulph going into Hawk's Nest for that Rogue Scorpion again. He's got Heal More now, so it should go better. Shoob, meanwhile, gets a very modest level 14, but all of a sudden he's opened up about a 1,000-point experience lead on Highspirits, so he's been doing some good work there with his exploration and his grinding.
And it looks like our other continent here is a rather large continent, as it's spreading out quite a bit.
Oh, I see Highspirits has found a little Charlock in the corner there.
And Shoobinator, meanwhile, is checking the other direction and finds yet more swamp. Good news is, having picked up the armor, which I believe brisulph just picked up as well, swamp doesn't hurt you anymore. So you can walk through the swamp all you want, and brisulph walking through some more swamp and not taking damage confirms armor was definitely picked up.
Yep, brisulph gets the armor, and he's in Swamp South, so he's about to get his bonus cave gold and Highspirits, meanwhile, picking up 13 as he explores yet more swamp south of.
And there is the heal more level for MeleeWizard. So MeleeWizard now level 12. And I'm assuming we'll make a trip back into Hawksness now that heal more has been.
Yeah, he should be right behind with both the armor and Hawksness, and he'll probably go on up north and find Swamp Cave and Keys and all that.
Speaking of caves, and our last town to be found here, we found the Staff of Rain Cave and Breckenary on Shoobinator.
Yay.
And Highspirits won't be far behind.
That Harp Cave, it's unfortunate runners don't have the Harp yet. They're going to have to double back to that, but they will need to trade the Harp in for the Staff of Rain at that cave, so they will have to make a return trip at some time before they can acquire the Rainbow Drop.
That was at least a useful pit stop for Shoobinator. You know, quick rest, restore the imp. Alright, so we're only missing 3 caves at this point. We're missing the Grave of Garenham, we're missing the Mountain Cave, and we're missing Tablet Cave. 2 of which we at least know the location of, because one of them will be in Tantagel Castle, and the other is going to be in the back of Garenham. So we've just about found everything there is to be found here, aside from the items at least. Locations have been found.
Yeah, Shoobinator, Highspirits, and brisulph all making sure they explore all the swamp continent before they head back home and check out those caves in Tantagel and Garenham, which makes sense. You don't want to miss a cave way out here and have to come all the way back for it, so they're going to finish up their exploration before checking out the stuff.
Yeah, I can't say I blame them. I've done it myself. As soon as I had access to keys, alright, let's go open those chests, and then, yeah, missed a cave.
Yeah, missed a cave, and the chest back home have a torch, some fairy water, and a couple herbs for you.
And one of those cursed belts, just for good measure.
Oh, how could I forget? Of course, the cursed belt. That's always there.
And it looked like brisulph actually got unceremoniously sent home, but that's okay. We get our first look at the treasury here, and we have...
Well, there's that harp we were talking about.
And then there's also an empty, a dragon scale, and a torch. So you were close.
Yeah, the harp is probably better than the fairy water.
And we have MeleeWizard getting the level and getting their Erdrick's armor.
Yeah, this has been a pretty nice seed so far. We're 34 minutes in, and all 4 runners have keys. All 4 runners have Erdrick's armor. I guess MeleeWizard doesn't have keys yet, but he will shortly. And all 4 runners are over level 12, have with heal more and hurt more. Like, you're pretty happy with that.
And looks like we have the Grave of Garenham hiding in the back of Tantagel Castle.
Ooh, so this is going to give brisulph an interesting choice. We'll see if he dives all the way to the bottom, or if he just gets the top 3 and goes and checks out Garenham.
Well, we have an Axe Ghost, and our Axe Ghost was actually the Stones of Sunlight.
Ooh, so Bry's going to just head on out of that cave. He's done. So
the interesting thing here is there's 2 chests that weren't checked, 5 chests still hiding in the mountain cave, and 1 hiding in the tablet cave, which mountain or tablet cave could be hiding in the back of Garenham. And we've got those 3 chests in the back of Garenham.
Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to mention them, but we have 6 chests somewhere else that sword could be hiding, right?
That is true. There's also all the Sharlock chests. So do you gamble here? Well, we get a fighter ring in the back of Garenham, but do you gamble here and hope it's in Sharlock, or do you keep digging? And well, it looks like we're going to keep digging on brisulph's side anyway.
I definitely like going through the mountain cave before you check any other spots. Oh, Toaster's right. It's 7 with the judge's table, of course. We shouldn't mention that 7th chest, though.
But that's my favorite one.
That feels just too cruel for a Chaos Seed.
Imagine how much more cruel it would feel if it turns out it is in that location, but you went all the way to the very bottom first to check the treasury, and now have to make the trip back up to...
And then it's not there either, and it's in the bottom of the grave? Yeah, that would just wreck your night.
Shh. Let's watch them suffer. Just a little bit. They've had it too easy so far. I came here for something.
Oh, where were you last night? Anyway, brisulph picks up 14. If he still needs some experience, he might want to dive the grave just to pick up experience and check those chests too, if the sword's not here, of course.
Now we're going to see what Highspirits decides to do, since we're getting the treasury check on his side, and we'll be doing at least a short dive into the grave, if not an extended dive. So far, mountain.
Sorry, I think I had the same thing as you. I was going to say, so far, no sword mountain, so we're getting closer to that conundrum.
Yeah, Mountain Cave proving to not be so fruitful, but we see our last location being found on Shoobinator's side with the Tablet Cave.
So I imagine once he checks this, he'll head back home and check out all the stuff in Tantagel and Garenham.
All we have is...
Highspirits gets his Axe Spirit stones, and he also heads right on out of...
Well, Highspirits is going to be making the trip into Garenham and at least checking 3 chests, possibly more if we see a dive into the mountain cave. And MeleeWizard now having the information of where Sharlock is.
Yeah, MeleeWizard's quietly been getting back into this thing. He's catching up on his experience, he's getting his exploration done. He could definitely be a factor at the end of this game, too.
And so far, everybody has been searching almost the exact same things, as we have brisulph now going into Erdrick's Tablet Cave.
Yeah, I don't think that torch was the fortune he was hoping that was going to smile upon him there.
The good news is at least Tablet Cave's not that much of a detour, especially when you have outside. And there's no monsters to slow you down, so it's a quick check and, you know, right back out you go.
Oh, it's definitely worth checking. I've left the sword in there before and felt really dumb, but the torch is not what we're looking for this seed for sure.
And, you know, I don't think I saw a pit stop from Highspirits over in Garenham, so looks like Highspirits might just be going to find a grindable location and bank on Sharlock having the sword.
Has Highspirits seen the harp cave yet? He might still be looking for that too. He does have to go redeem his harp one way or another.
Well, that's true. Speaking of that cave, MeleeWizard stumbles right into it.
But with no harp, has to stumble right out. And does much the same for Breckenary. Oh, but he's stumbling back in.
And meanwhile, Shoobinator is going to be cleaning up Mountain Cave, and then I think we'll be making the trip to Tantagel, as nothing else will be left to find other than what's in Tantagel. So definitely making sure everything has been searched as thoroughly as possible before going back home.
Yep, Shoobinator's got this chest and one more to check out before he heads back.
And meanwhile, it looks like Highspirits is definitely making the trip to the Staffarine Cave. And seeing as how the Rainbow Drop Cave was not too far from the castle, might just be heading right back to the castle.
Yeah, since they didn't have the harp, they have to come all the way out here to get the harp traded in, and then all the way back home, and then all the way back out here to get to Sharlock. So it's a little bit of a long route.
And the good news for them is they know where Remolder was, and the likelihood of having found a cave with a key is not very likely, especially seeing as how we haven't seen any keys from any caves that have been explored. So at least you know everybody had to make that trek to the Staffarine Cave twice.
Right, you know everyone else had to do it, but still, you don't really like going in a big circle like that. And I think with Shoobinator closing out the mountain cave, we've seen all the chests except for the two in the bottom of the grave, right?
We only have the bottom two in the grave and whatever may lie in Sharlock, which maybe Sharlock holds all the keys. We haven't seen any keys in any chests. At least not that I'm aware of, anyway.
Oh yeah, I don't think we saw any keys in any chests, so I think the Dragon Lord is hoarding all. Oh, Pyrolite saying in chat and Cyberdark too, there was one key in Garenham, but we didn't care at that point, so.
Well, they got their key back, at least.
So Shoobinator raiding the treasury and is gonna, I assume, raid Garen's grave afterwards and pick up his quest item.
And we have a Druid Lord being fought by MeleeWizard in the Swamp Spike tile. Doesn't look too happy to be being punched, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to make for a great grind. Highspirits going to go check it out too, and we'll see what he decides.
You know, the funny thing here for Shoobinator is, having died out of the mountain cave, everything in the treasury stayed unopened, and everything that is in the grave is going to stay unopened and has some fun results. So we're going to have to check our inventory every chest we open, unless it says something other than an item being found.
Yeah, he can set up a gold grind for all. Oh, never mind.
And go get that diamond encrusted bamboo pole.
MeleeWizard looks like he's gonna actually go through and pick up the princess, possibly for swag or possibly to return her, so he knows how much experience it is to the next level, which is a very useful strategy.
At this point, I would say it'd have to be just to know what experience is required for the level, because unless you really want to flute, I can't see any other reason. That rogue scorpion grind spot over in Hawksness, though, it would be a long way back to the castle to check for experience, so could definitely be handy in that.
And Shoobinator gets a bamboo pole worth of Stones of Sunlight instead of the Axe Ghost that other. And it looks like since Shoobinator's already cleared out Mountain Cave, with that extra information, he's going to decide to dive the bottom of the grave.
Yeah, not a bad call. I mean, you get to see what your stats are at this point anyways, so you know that you're going to need to fight some more enemies, so might as well do the dive, kill some things along the way, and if you happen to get the sword, well, that's just, extra for you.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of sword dives in Chaos, because in Chaos mode, we throw the top 10, I believe, worst enemies into Sharlock, so generally diving for the sword is not a fun time.
Yeah, especially since this is the full-length Sharlock, that's a lot of nasties to try and dig through before you can find out, is there a sword?
Yeah, it'll be very painful to go through only to find out you gotta go back to the grave. And brisulph has his Staff of Rain, so he's ready to go on his rainbow drop.
And Highspirits did actually go back into Garenham, picked up the Fighter Ring, and is going to go ahead and take a look at Mount. And looks like we're actually going to go ahead and get to see some coordinates this time around as well.
I'm not sure I've ever seen the princess be present for the coordinates, but does not look like there are any coordinates.
That means a flute's in a chest somewhere, which Shoobinator may yet still find here in the grave.
Well, there's one of those rogue scorpions for Shoobinator as he goes to clear out the bottom of the grave, so he's at least getting experience while he.
If the sword does happen to be here in this bottom chest, that actually could potentially have Shoobinator just collecting the staff, collecting the drop, and going to Sharp. If it doesn't, well, it could still have Shoobinator going and collecting the staff and the drop and going to Sharlock, since that would mean Shoobinator would know exactly where the sword is and just pick it up on the.
Yeah, it looks like we got some pretty solid HP. Strength's a little lacking, but with Chaos, you never know. The DL2 could roll low HP, the DL1 might be paper DL1, and you could get a quick kill. It's just with full Sharlock, it's an awful long way to go to find that out. So here comes the big treasure chest. Oh, one rogue scorpion from now.
And with MeleeWizard entering the grave, we have all 4 runners in a cave of some sort, 3 of which are actually in the grave at the same time, all on different floors.
Oh, Shoobinator finds a hand axe, which was not really the Erdrick sword.
Well, Shoobinator at least knows what now must be done. Go collect the things, so you can go and collect the thing.
And kill the thing. To get the other thing.
The shiny thing. Gotta get the shiny thing.
So Highspirits gets the bad news about Mountain Cave, and MeleeWizard's gonna get the bad news about the bottom of the grave.
Question we'll have to find out here is, does Highspirits decide to go ahead and check those 2 chests in the grave, or is he just gonna rainbow drop?
Kinda looks like he's walking back in the direction of the castle.
Well, brisulph will be the first to pick up the rainbow drop at any rate.
Yeah, Shoob and Melee still have to make their trip back over to Swamp Continent to pick up their Staff of Rain.
At least for Shoobinator, return is handy here, so a quick trip back to the castle to pick up the rainbow drop will be available to Shoobinator, and it does appear that Highspirits is not looking forward to diving Sharlock for the sword, and is going to go ahead and do a grave dive.
Yeah, like I said, that makes a lot of sense. Going to the bottom of the grave is a lot less painful than trying to go to the bottom of Sharlock. Brisulph popping into Hawksness, he might be trying to take out a few of those rogue scorpions.
Well, it's definitely a much more easily grindable enemy now that you've got a few levels under.
Yeah, Veralis was pointing out earlier in chat that they're doing almost double the damage they were to them when they got the armor, so they're going to be much easier to kill.
So yeah, we've actually seen each and every runner so far do the exact same amount of exploration, all of them exploring the grave completely, all of them exploring the mountain cave completely, and I think only 2 so far actually has found their Erdrick's torch and the tablet.
But MeleeWizard got himself a Harp Knight.
Ooh. Good old Harp Knight. I still think I think the Plate Drakema and the Sword Magitrak though. I think those beat out the Harp.
I personally was always a big fan of the red, but
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the red again.
so Shoob picked up 18, and yeah.
Those are some lovely stats there. And that's without a sword.
Yeah, Shoobinator looks like he might be ready to go.
Yeah, I'd have to be feeling at level 18 without Erdrick's sword, I'd be feeling pretty darn. Take a quick rest in Remolder before you head over to Sharlock and hopefully, hopefully seal the deal, call it a day.
Well, this is the other problem with Chaos, too. With Dragonlord 1 and randomized, DL2 could have all kinds of high HP. You never know what monster's going to find in Sharlock. I feel like you never feel real great about a Charlock dive, but Shoobinator is in a decent position now to give it a go.
That is true, since Dragon Lord 2 can have anywhere from 100 to 230 HP, and Dragon Lord 1, well, he can have whatever he wants.
Dragon Lord 1 can just be a sleep, DL, 2 breath, hurt more jerk.
Indeed, he could even, if he so chose, could have 255 agility.
Like with 182 HP to go with.
That sounds about right.
Shoob running away from those rogue scorpions, so he's definitely happy with where he's at, and he's gonna give it a go on 18, which again makes.
And brisulph looks to be making a trip over to possibly go at 17. And Highspirits is going to go ahead and do the same grind on the rogue scorpions here. Certainly it looks like actually the most favorable grind that would be available.
Yeah, those rogue scorpions and Hawksness have to be the place to go. brisulph on 17, he is lacking a little power that Shoobinator has, so I don't know if that's going to end up hurting him. There's our first rainbow drop use, less than an hour into the seed. Always like that in Chaos.
And even if 17 is enough to be able to take out the Dragon Lord 1 and 2, with that extra that Shoobinator has, that'll certainly make the fight a lot easier.
Jack mentioning in chat that maybe Shoob doesn't even need the sword, but I don't know, I always feel with the randomized DL1 and DL2, I would want to take the extra 45 seconds to pick it.
I mean, you know exactly where it has to be. If it's in one of those chests and not vanilla, you're happy to see it. If it's not one of those chests, then I would say forget about it. Go ahead and, go give it a shot. If the Dragon Lord spanks you, then pick it up on your way back down the second time.
Chat was earlier talking about Schrodinger's sword. I feel like Erdrick's sword in Chaos is almost like Dragon Lord's almost like that. If you go pick up the sword, the Dragon Lord will have 100 HP. If you don't pick up the sword, he'll have 220.
Yeah, that's true.
Just can't win.
And Highspirits hitting level 17 and leaving the rogue scorpions behind. So looks like Highspirits might be content with level 17.
Yeah, Highspirits and Bri both feeling that 17 is enough.
And MeleeWizard seems to be making the trip to turn in the harp for the Staff of Rain here.
Yeah, Melee's not that far behind. We could have all foreigners in Charlock in just a minute here.
Oh, and Highspirits actually hadn't picked up his rainbow drop yet, but has it now, so I think we'll be seeing the trip being made to Charlock. Well, these Druin Lords on the way down, Shoobinator is able to run from them, but they are being brutal. Shoobinator actually was first into Charlock, but has fallen behind in distance with all these encounters, whereas brisulph's encounter luck's actually been fairly deep. Wow, look at those stonemen breathing the Dragon Lord fire. And a good point being made in chat here. We have the possibility of putting on a Death Necklace. 150 HP for Shoobinator, 148 for brisulph. We would still have a decent amount of HP left over and get that 10 attack power boost. On Shoobinator's side, with Erdrick's sword, we'd be looking at 157 attack power. So we have 3 of our runners here in Sharlock, with MeleeWizard picking up their Rainbow Drop and likely to head that direction, if not finding a grind location. And only an hour in. For Chaos, that is actually rather surprising.
Yeah, Melee might need to stop by Hawksness for a couple levels, but Shoob's making some good progress here. He's about to see if he can find himself.
Yeah, Shoobinator and brisulph both, they were trading back and forth the lead here in Sharlock, but Shoobinator was able to catch up. So everybody, time to get your guesses in as Shoobinator makes their way to the pyramid. I will, of course, always pick vanilla, so...
Oh, that top chest looking pretty good today.
Oh, there's the magic keys.
Ooh, and our fairy flute.
It looks like Sharlock gives you Vings.
Oh boy.
Oh! My hopes and dreams dash.
I tell you, that gets your heart rate going when it's the last chest you check in there.
And that will go to CD Improv with middle.
So chat, knowing that Bry had to use some MP on the way down, but he's going to want to at least get to the treasury to get his sword, even if he can't dive and kill the Dragon Lord. With DL1 and DL2 being randomized, though, it wouldn't hurt for him to get in there and take a couple swings just to get some information.
Yeah, I would still at least give it a try. I mean, if you have to get out of Sharlock anyways, might as well go out with it.
This could be a very close race for second, too. Highspirits has a lot of MP, and he's just behind brisulph there.
And brisulph gets the sword on the first go and just leaves a big L in the middle of the Sharlock treasury.
I don't think I've ever seen the Sharlock L before. So looks like Shoobinator's gotten to the spike tile and found a Druid Lord.
Doing at least some damage to the Druid Lord with the physicals now, though, whereas before you could not physical a Druid Lord at all. And even with that heal, that Druid Lord did not stand a chance.
Yeah, looks like Bry found his sword and just took off out of Sharlock. He was on low MP, but not going to get the information about DL1 or the spike tile.
It is a bit of a long trek to get back to the Sharlock, so I can't say I blame.
Well, Shoobinator's going to show us what DL1 has in store for us.
And MeleeWizard's making a trip into the castle. And Shoobinator, not taking any chances, throws out a stop spell right away, and Dragonlord comes swinging heavily, and...
Oof, so DL1 did not skip Arm Day.
Ooh, certainly not. DL1 over here with the float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Ooh, 75. Even with 150 HP, that hurt. And one of the sad things about full Sharlock is now you gotta walk all the way back down.
Yeah, that actually kind of puts brisulph in a good position here. With heading back in, possibly going to grab level 18 on the way.
If he can get through that DL1.
Yeah, it's all going to depend on can you, for one, can you physical it? Because we didn't get to see what Shoobinator could do since DL1 dodge. And then the second thing is, if you can't physical it, can you hurt more it? Or sleep it even. If you can sleep it and stop it from doing the physicals to you, I mean...
Yeah, Shoobinator tried one sleep and it didn't work, but you never know, another one might hit. It's just hard with the DL1 like this, with such a long walk down. You don't want to be trying random things. You want to be able to go in there with some sort of plan in mind. So we'll see what Shoobinator decides to do this next time down.
An interesting thing here is the difference in builds. I mean, we have brisulph at level 17 with Strength Agility at 148 HP, whereas Highspirits with the Strength HP build is at 162, so an extra 14 HP.
Yeah, and that could make a very big difference with the hard-hitting DL1 like this.
I think MeleeWizard hoping to find Erdrick's Sword, having only level 15 at the moment. That attack power of 91. Picking up the sword would certainly come in handy for that Rogue Scorpion.
There's the sword for Highspirits, so he's going to make his way around and talk to a Dragon Lord. Smashy asking in chat, anyone saw how close Shoob was to the next level? I didn't see how close he was, but he might be taking those easy fights in the hopes that he's close to 19.
Well, there is some levels for MeleeWizard, and we'll be happy to see.
Yeah, MeleeWizard got that huge increase from 15 to 17, and it's going to help him get to the sword at the very... Highspirits working on that Spike Tile Druid Lord, and brisulph not far behind, so we'll see if either of them have better luck against that deal.
Alright, Highspirits is able to get through that Druid Lord, and right behind him is brisulph, so about to have two Dragon Lord 1 fights on our end. And 2 fools while we're at it.
Ooh, a back attack on Highspirits side, not what you want to see with this Dragon Lord. But he can physical him for 40.
Having a good high physical, that's definitely a good thing to have there. And he does get the Dragon Lord to sleep.
Bri playing with danger in those roles, but he's still working on his Dragon Lord 1. Apparently the Dragon Lord 1 has a couple hit points, but Highspirits gets through him.
Oh boy, but look at that health at Highspirits.
Oh no, he had to risk it, and he couldn't get a heal.
The feels.
Oh, brisulph lands a first try stop spell on DL1 or DL2.
Well, that'll certainly come. Or two, has any nasty.
So you definitely like to see the Dragon Lord start spamming sleep.
Especially with only having the 131 attack. Ooh, and tries to roll. Takes a risk, and risk does not pay off.
Like I was saying though, with those, I think he had to go for it there, but his luck finally ran out.
People use too often a quick return to get back out of the castle.
Well, you're gonna fill up in Rimmel there anyway. So now that puts Shoob back as the next one to go after the Dragon Lord.
Well, unless MeleeWizard's feeling brave here.
That would be the most incredible win ever if MeleeWizard got him on 17 MP. Shoobinator picking up 19 on the way down, so that might help a little bit somehow.
And still fighting Rogue Scorpions, possibly hoping for another level.
Yeah, in Chaos, you never know. One Rogue Scorpion could bump you up to 21 all of a sudden.
Interesting to point out, the experience level that Shoobinator's at currently, just over 10,000. Normally, at least in the vanilla randomizer, it would require 12,000 just to hit 17, so we're above the curve at the moment.
Yeah, you can also see from the experience levels, it's a long way from 17 to 19. Melee just picked up 17 around 6,000, and 19 is way up at 10,000.
And especially with not really getting a whole lot for that level, it was a lot of experience that didn't really help you out here. But at 18, I think, was somewhere halfway in between.
Bobski asking in chat, yeah, Hoxus was not on near Charlock, it was over on main continent, and that desert does have Rogue Scorpions, I believe, so I think he's hoping to run into them there, and the Blue Dragons, you can see there, are worth a decent amount.
And there will be that level, about 2,000 after hitting level 17.
Oh, and speaking of that level, 20 makes an appearance on Shoobinator's side.
Yeah, and look at the power we're seeing now. And the MP gains.
Yeah, the MP gain won't help him on this dive, but that power certainly will. And Shoob not interested in fighting any more Rogue Scorpions. He's just going to make a beeline for the Dragon.
Yeah, Shoobinator, having made it through Dragon Lord 1, must be thinking that 18's got to do it here with the increased attack power.
Yeah, that increased attack really helps out a lot for Bri. That level 18 is very nice to get on the way.
And at level 20, Shoobinator's going to be doing 15 to 30 to Dragon Lord 2.
Yeah, and as Beta Strep points out in chat, that only requires 10 attacks on DL2, even if he's max HP, so you can use a bunch of resources on DL1 if you need.
Max HP, if he's at 230, it would definitely, 10 attacks could definitely do it, but could take more.
Well, Shoobinator gets that first Hurt Mortar land, so that'll help him on his DL1.
second
and he lands the second.
And he will be able to survive any back attack should there be one, which not this time around.
He can't land the stop spell, but he has a bunch of MP still left over. While Shoobinator tries to land his stop spell there, Highspirits is getting in range of the Dragon Lord again, too.
And we actually have all 4 in Charlock at the moment, I believe.
So Shoob has given up on the stop spell, and he's just hacking away now, hoping the Dragon Lord 2 is a vanilla. Don't think he has sleep. I feel like who would have seen it by now? Be a heal. Nope. There goes the Dragon Lord 1. Shoob's gonna take it. Dragon Rank 2, but Shoob's gonna take it.
Dragon Lord 2, certainly not the Dragon Lord's most powerful form.
No, another seed where Dragon Lord 2 was relatively tame once you got through Dragon Lord 1. So good job on Shoob, getting him on that second time, getting the Dragon Lord 1 basically on the second time. Here on his Dragon Lord 1.
Holy moly!
Hello. Good game.
Good game.
And we do have Shoobinator here in the booth with a official time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, 39 seconds, and apparently feeling the sting of what it's like to face a Dragon Lord that didn't skip.
Yeah, I was agility build and 70-something damage. That was worse than the one before. I was like, what in the world? How is this hit point or strength?
I mean, at least the good news for you guys was once you beat DL1, DL2 was pretty...
Yeah, I did notice that. Stop spell was not effective, but it was still like, what in the world? What are my options?
We got those hurt mores to land. That was a pretty effective strategy the second time around.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was the only way I was going to get anywhere. Otherwise, I would have probably grinded until like level 30.
Well, interestingly enough, Dragon Lord 1's defense power was abysmal, so you actually would have been crushing Dragon Lord 1 with physicals if you were able to hit Dragon Lord.
Yeah, I think that was the issue where I'm like,
Yeah, its dodge chance was 7 out of 64, so fairly high, you know, right there in the middle.
In the middle is still pretty high. And I see Highspirits did well too.
Yeah, Highspirits is currently fighting the DL2. He's a little low on heal mores, but I think he's looking on.
Yeah, as everybody is well aware, I definitely overgrinded, but it was kind of required. Did you see how many fights that I had going down? Holy.
Yeah, 17. It's certainly not impossible to win with. But 20, I would have to say, would be pretty close to a guarantee at that.
Well, providing you get past Dragon Lord 1 and aren't surprised by the 75 hit points of damage of Doom.
Oh no, I spoke too soon. Highspirits got taken out by the DL2 just now.
So yeah,
I just saw that. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch.
As I also provided that after Dragon Lord 1 has finished using you for a punching bag, Dragon Lord 2 doesn't decide to ambush you with a fire breath and just send you packing before you even get to look.
Yeah, that's kind of why I did the heal more instead of doing another hurt more. I was like, yeah.
Well, I know you mentioned overgrinding shoes, but I'm sure you were very happy to find 2 levels on your way down that second time.
Yeah, definitely. Level 20 was definitely a godsend.
So, what was your feeling at the start there?
Search and hope for something good.
Well, you certainly did that. You went out there, tried to find the noodle. Didn't have too much luck, and then it seemed like you reset to collect the starting gold again, and found you some.
Yeah, that equipment was pretty solid. And without that equipment, I don't think I would have gotten anywhere. I still don't even know who the new.
I want to say it was the Druid.
Really? Didn't it have like some big bad skill or something?
Not the Druins, the Druin Lords perhaps, but not the Druins were 5 HP, 11 attack power, but a boatload of agility at 165.
That's why I didn't want to touch them, because I was dealing so little damage.
It was one of those noodles where it's either miss or do 1.
Yeah, I am pretty happy that I ended up lucky that the magic drakey that I killed at the start didn't require too much.
And then there's also, of course,
I'm sorry, the Drakima.
Yeah, Drakimas were actually, I think that was one of the enemies that most got started on. But yeah, then of course those Druins also had a 10 out of 64 dodge chance, so...
Really? No wonder I didn't want to touch them.
Yeah, Druins were definitely a noodle, but not a very slippery.
Yeah, no kidding.
So you said a second ago you overgrinded Shoob. I'll just point out that Highspirits on 17 is on the Rogue Scorpions grinding some more, so maybe you did the perfect amount of grinding as it turned.
Yeah, maybe I did. I'm still really surprised that I got through Dragon Lord 1 with those 3 Hurtmores. What was his resistance?
Let's see, I believe it was 316 for Dragon Lord 1.
Okay, that's not bad. Any opinions on the other enemies that I ended up grinding on?
No, not really. I think the Rogue Scorpion, the Blue Dragons, and the Druin Lords all actually turned out to be decent grindable enemies once you got some stats to be able to grind.
That I'll agree with. Jeez. And then those stone men. I'm like, yeah, these things are great to kill. And Dragon Lord breath.
Funny how that happens so often. It's, oh man, this thing gives a ton of experience. And it can also one-shot you. Well,
pretty much. I think I was pretty lucky that I didn't find too many of the gatekeepers to other lands. Other than that one skeleton by Cole. Well, it was a skeleton, right?
we got the skeletons with the hurt more.
They had hurt more? Yeah, they did.
Yeah, those skeletons were pesky for a number of other runners too.
And then I suddenly was able to one-shot them, and they were like, ooh, nice.
So Shoob, with the win here, you're on to the next round of the playoffs. How are you? I obviously like that, but how are you? How you feel?
I'm still surprised I made it to the first playoff, so we'll see what happens in the second playoff, because I certainly wasn't expecting to do anywhere near as well this time around. And then I learned it was chaos.
Yeah, it's wonderful chaos, but you had a little rough start, but you really took off.
I think it was because I got those 2 defensive items right at the start, and then I found an hand axe, and then the flame sword was relatively close to start and cheap enough that just a few Drakemounts was enough.
Yeah, we did mention that. It was about 450 gold for all the best gear you could buy in the game, so you gotta like...
I would agree. Definitely agree with.
By the way, there was another, I would say, potential noodle that I don't actually know if we ever saw at all from any. And that was the Droll Magi. It actually only had 4 HP, much less agility at only 89, and 14 attack power, and gave a whopping 230 experience. But I don't know if we actually saw those on anyone's side at all.
If I saw one, it either resisted very well, or I did 0 damage and I ran.
I do remember seeing one of those on Bry's screen for literally a second. I think he was off exploring or trying to get somewhere, and he ran from it. Other than that, they were not to be...
Yeah, just the seed. It was really silly.
Exploration didn't seem to be too bad, aside from the massive amount of swamp. I thought maybe we're playing a week 7 seed, and at first
I kind of thought we were doing a big swamp seed too, because it was everywhere. Everything that was any worth, except for coal, had swamp.
Yeah, well, the combination of swamp and no healing until level 10 or so, I'm sure that's a great...
Yeah, the hurt more at level 10 made me realize that I'm probably close to the lead. But then, I didn't know if anybody actually tried to get to any of the towns that were near Tantagel, because they were through swamp and a whole bunch of mountains.
Well, you were the first, and actually it was a fair amount of time before everybody else made their way there and picked up their rather inexpensive weaponry, since there was no inexpensive weapons to be found over in Cole, at least.
Well, at the very least, Cole was somewhat easy to get to.
Yeah, it was definitely great for early armor pickup.
Was I the first to pick up armor?
I think so. If not the first, you were one of the very, very early.
Yeah, I want to say either first or second, because it was you and brisulph who found Cole first. I just don't remember in what order. It wasn't far, between each other though when it was found. But you were definitely the first to find Cantlin, along with Garanham.
What was everybody's thoughts after they got the keys? I know I grabbed some keys and I decided to explore everywhere else in hopes to be able to find a cave to die in. And then I realized, after searching and searching and searching some more, that the caves were actually in Tantagel and Garanham. And I'm like, really? I think I was southeast of Garanham when I finally realized, oh, it's in the towns.
Oh, everyone else explored the rest of the swamp too after the keys. We kind of figured the basic idea was you're looking for maybe a mountain cave or grave is out there somewhere, and you don't want to miss the sword there. Because there was still Tablet Cave in there as well. There was no guarantee those caves are going to be back.
I agree with that. You said Rainbow Drop Cave was still out there? Yeah, Rainbow Drop Cave was right next to Tantagel, wasn't it?
Tablet Cave was still out there.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, interestingly enough, everybody did pretty much the same exact thing. You all stayed and explored the entirety of the second continent before heading back home. I think you were the only one who went to Garanham first.
Yeah, I was going to say, we were really close to having 3 Dragon Lords on screen, but brisulph got taken out by that DL1, and Highspirits got through his DL1, and he's in, I want to say, pretty good shape for the DL2, but I jinxed him last time.
Yeah, he's in good shape. He has more than enough magic to get through that, unless the Dragon Lord has Heal More, which we never got to see.
So yep, Highspirits does take him down, and he's going to be second place and joining you next week in round 2 of the playoff.
Cool. And I'll let him talk quite a bit when he gets here.
And the good news is this Dragon Lord can't have Heal More, or at least not Dragon Lord 2.
Why is that? Because I do know I only tried twice to stop spell him.
Well, Dragon Lord 2 can have Heal and Sleep, but not Heal More. Heal More would heal way more than you could ever do in physicals other than by landing a stop spell. So it would make a long, grindy stop spell fest if it had Heal More. As Betashep points out, imagine if you had Heal More with 200 strength and high stop spell resist. Or at least on DL1. DL1 can have Heal More, though. I believe we've seen it before, even.
Yeah, that would have been the real kicker if the DL1 had Heal More. It's like, yeah, I've got strength for days, and I can heal myself, and you have to use Hurt More to even get anywhere with me.
We've definitely seen DL1s like that before, but yes, fortunately that wasn't the case this time.
Yeah, more of a little bit of a more mild DL1 this time around, at least.
That's chaos when you call that DL1 mild.
I don't think that was mild.
Oh, it could be so much worse.
Even sleeping in Fire and Dragon Lord Breath is not worse than 75 damage, physicals, and he has no spell.
Oh, he could have all 3 of these things. I've seen that before.
He could punch you for 90. He can put you to sleep, and he can also heal himself so that once you got some damage, he puts you to sleep and then he heals himself and has high stop spell resistance. It can be oh so worse.
So also, MeleeWizard got back down there and took out his Dragon Lord too, so GG. And we've got Highspirits in here joining us. GG's Highspirits, and congrats on making it to week 2 of the play.
Thanks. Dragon Lord 1 just did not like me.
He didn't like anybody.
Yeah, he didn't like anybody. He didn't like me either.
Man, that second attempt, I had him 1 hit away from dead, and he dodges, and then I have to burn 2 Heal Mores, and then I died because of that.
It could have been worse. It could have been like that first attempt where he left you not looking too healthy and then you got ambushed.
Oh yeah, you got the classic Dragon Lord 2 ambush also.
That was painful. that Dragon Lord 1 was painful.
Yeah, he went to sleep mostly easy, but the second attempt, I had trouble getting him to sleep, and that burnt all my magic, and then that dodge that burnt 2 more Heal Mores kind of caused a problem.
So you said you tried him 3 times?
Yeah, I died 3 times. I had already been wiped on Dragon Lord 2 and was walking back in Charlock when you finished. But GG, man.
I'm only saying wow because I only tried twice.
So we probably both got close to there the first time together.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it was Shoobinator, brisulph, followed closely by you in terms of who got to the DL win.
Welcome. And he has to unmute himself.
There we go. We've got MeleeWizard in here now with us, the Shoes are referring to. GG's Melee.
Try to run, blocked in front. Try to run, blocked in front. Try to run, blocked in front. Did any of the runners have half the issues I did trying to run from stuff?
Not in Charlock. In Charlock, I could run from everything. Outside of Charlock, I couldn't run from anything.
Yeah, I was agility, so I was able to run from pretty much
Stupid
everything.
skeletons.
Skelling's nothing. The rogue scorpions were giving me grief trying to run.
Oh, I had no problem running from them because they had like no agility at all. They were like the easiest thing to run from.
Says you. There was at least a couple that I tried to run from like 4 or 5 times. I had to burn heal bores trying to get away from them.
Yeah, that's called RNG.
It's
We
called
were
the
talking-
game apparently hates me for some reason today.
See, 73 agility. You had over a 50% chance to run from that.
My
You
agility
had like
was
a 60%
92.
chance. Yeah, that's like a 60% chance to run from it.
Apparently we're doing Fire Emblem rules. 60% means 0.
No. We're doing Terry's Wonderland rules.
We're doing XCOM rules, okay? 99% is still 50%.
You should watch it back on mine. That was not 50%.
We were
I
talking about the-
probably spent a full minute trying to get away from a stone man until I realized I could kill him so quickly.
We were talking about the opening stats and saying the agility was low, and I mentioned that it's chaos. There's no running anyway. Who cares about?
Yeah, opening stats, and I walk out of the castle, take like 3 steps, meet a magician, and then like, bam, there's 2 levels right there. It was nice not having to spend 10 minutes to finally get a kill. By the way,
Yeah,
what was
that-
the
that-
wet noodle? Because I never found it.
I wondered about that too.
I didn't realize the magician was that easy.
Yeah, he only had 8 or 9 health.
I think technically we decided that Druin was the wet noodle, but it had a ton of agility, and you guys basically wanted to find Drakeemas and magicians.
I don't
Yeah,
think I ever
magicians-
saw Druin.
Yeah, I think I seen
I
one
never saw
druid,
one of those.
but magicians gave 170 experience, and they had like 9 health. And they were taking like 3 damage at level 1, so...
Yeah, that was nice.
So apparently I was in last place when it came to experience points, but I think I won because of the equipment that I found immediately.
Yeah, you
it
were
was
the
pretty. It was pretty fast finding the magic armor and silver shield. I mean, it only cost like 70 gold for it.
Yeah, you were actually you were the last to start getting levels there, Shoobs, but you were the first to pick up equipment.
Yeah, so that equipment let you catch up in the experience department pretty fast, and by the end, you actually had a nice experience.
Yeah, I made it to level 20.
So after that seed full of swamp, you looking forward to the actual big swamp there?
Oh heck yeah!
Well,
Remember back in the last Chaos tournament, like me and McGrew decided to not only do Chaos but do Big Swamp mode in our race because, well, at the time we were both like guaranteed the playoffs, so we just like let's just do Big Swamp for the fun of it, and we both did Big Swamp. So I am looking forward to that.
no, actually, Toaster pointed out in chat earlier too. I know everyone loves Swamp here, but next week is not Swamp yet. We have standard slags next week with normal experience. We need to wait 1 more week for our Swamp.
Oh, that's true. It is standard flat. Oh man, that's gonna be brutal. Slow grind.
Yeah, so we get to see a ton of grinding. Hooray!
Yep, next week is just normal experience.
Yeah,
That means 25% low.
Yeah, whatever. It'll only, it's not that bad.
Oh, it's definitely better than Chaos. Chaos can be brutal sometimes.
Yeah, the seed.
At least the good news is you know exactly what you need for each level, and not, well, do I need 2,000, 4,000, 10,000?
Oh, no one should complain about Chaos unless you were playing last night.
Ooh, okay.
What was
Right
last
Guy is
night?
the only one in this chat right now that should be able to complain about
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah, but that was also my fault too, so I probably shouldn't complain about it.
Even if you weren't, it was going to be a reseed, whether it went an hour and 10 minutes or it went 20 minutes.
What was last night?
You'll have to watch the first hour and 10 minutes.
Watch the first 15 minutes, then imagine that looping 5 times, and then skip ahead.
I was gonna say fall asleep to the first hour. You mean?
Did
It
everything
was
have
probably the worst chaos seed I've ever seen, personally.
We're talking swamp surrounding Tanager and everything
No.
having fire, Dragon
We're
Lord
just
buff?
talking. You needed 180 experience or something to get to level 2, and then you needed 500 plus experience to level 3. And the only monster they could kill was a 44 experience point scorpion that ran away most of the time.
Oh, that you did 0 to 1 to.
Yeah, and the most you could do is 1 because that was the wet noodle.
Also, I'll cut in here and say brisulph just got the DL2 down, talks to a couple soldiers, just see what they have to say, and he's going to be wrapping up right here.
What do the soldiers have to say? I've actually never spoken to a single one of them after taking out Dragon Lord.
The one he talked to said, "Come now, King Lorik awaits." Very, very dramatic.
Oh, you actually get to find out his name then.
I guess, yeah, it could have been worse.
Yeah, you could have taken a shot, taken a risk against DL1 at like 55 health.
We were kind of wondering if you were going to take a swing at DL1 just to get some information.
That wasn't much. I was trying to get a kill there. I just didn't realize. I thought maybe that would be the kill shot, but it wasn't.
Oh, how does everybody like the fact that the Erdrick sword was in the basement, and you actually did need the sword to be able to do anything?
Yeah, I had no problem with it. I was just worried that it was in the tablet cave because I never found.
Oh, you never found that either. I was worried that was gonna be there too.
And we've got joining us is brisulph. GG's Bryce.
I'm just going to cut you off right there. Anyone says GG, if I ever meet you, I will sock you in the nose, because I completely screwed that up.
GG, man. GG. Good job.
GG.
I think the DL1's
Well done. Well done.
I'm going to hit you twice now, Highspirit.
He's going to dodge you twice, though.
Well, that's true, because, whiffs, no run luck, everything wrong, went for 46. Everything can go wrong, went wrong. That was terrible. What a garbage display. And hopefully the 2 moving on will rep us well, because, now that I'm out, I want Jack to lose. So if he makes the next round, you got to beat him. That's it. That's all.
Oh,
And
wow.
he's
You look.
out.
Wow. What did Jack do?
So did he actually have worse run luck than I did somehow?
He had pretty bad DL1 luck.
Everyone had bad DL1.
He had especially bad DL1 luck, I think.
Hey, if his DL1 didn't dodge when he had 1 attack left to kill it, okay, I don't want to.
In my case, I tried to swing once, and I was like, this ain't happening. Oh boy.
You got dodged, yeah.
That was my first attack.
And then you promptly got punched for 40, and it was like, well, not so bad. And then the second time the punch came around, 75. Okay, that's bad.
Oh, no. The first time was, I think, 39, and the second punch was like 50-something. Or maybe they were both around 50, actually, sorry. And then the 75.
Well, I need to head off. Thank you guys very much for commentating, restreaming, and tracking, and commentating, and all the good stuff, and GG.
GG Highspirits.
Yep, good race, Highspirits, and congrats on moving on.
Yep, GG.
Any last comments from Shoobinator, MeleeWizard?
Honestly, I never even expected to get this far, so I guess I can't be too upset about this, but it's just... If I was going to lose this, I would rather not have the run luck screw me over the way it did, because I had to having to burn 2 or 3 heal mores just to get to deal 1 because I can't run from anything. That just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, honestly.
My statement will be, My run luck wasn't that it was pretty bad for the fact that I had 109 agility, and everything wanted to swarm me at all times, trying to get down there.
Yeah, you had the bad encounter luck because you actually entered Sherlock ahead of brisulph, and then y'all were kind of going back and forth with the lead. brisulph pulling ahead of you because you kept getting encounters, then you pulling ahead, and yeah, that encounter luck.
The only thing that was good was that I was an agility build. 109 agility on the second rundown was excellent.
You said you were at level 20?
Yep.
I hit level 18, like, right in front of the DL1.
I think I hit level 18 either just before or just after my first attempt on DL1. And then I grinded, because I was like, fudge this.
Speaking of grinding, MeleeWizard, you saved the princess.
Well, I hadn't gotten the coordinates yet, and it was on the way. So I figured I don't remember if I had gotten the armor yet at that point. And did I have the armor at that point? I must have.
You had the armor and you had the token, and you rescued the princess, carried her to the coordinate guy, and brought her back to the castle as well.
I also, at some point, I think I was convinced I didn't have return either, though I might have been mistaken on that. So there was really no fast way back in my mind. So it was like, you know what? If I'm having to go through Swamp Cave, I might as well do all this. I didn't even think about the coordinates being nothing, just because I already had the token in the armor. That thought never crossed my mind.
I was just kind of curious. I mean, it does come in handy, telling you how much experience you need for each of your levels, and especially since there was not really a good grind space near the castle.
Well, it turned out that if I wanted to go to Hawksness at that level, grinding off of the Rogue Scorpions wouldn't have been that bad. But...
Yeah, we definitely saw a couple runners towards the end game decide to go back and pick up a few levels off those Rogue Scorpions. That was definitely a good...
Yeah, I actually didn't try this Rogue Scorpions in Hawksness. I just kept going.
Yeah, it seems like with me and Chaos Seeds, by the time I actually have everything, my levels, my stat situation's more or less fine.
I thought I hit the ability to kill the Dragon Lord before I even got the Rainbow drop, so it was like, okay. And then I met Dragon Lord 1.
And of course, I hit that level 18 level. I think I got, 20-something strength off of that?
I think it was 28 or something. Or 20? Maybe somewhere around there.
Well, any final comments before we wrap this up and send everyone on over to the next race that'll be going on in about 10 minutes on Randomania 2?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, GG to everyone moving on.
Yep, good race, guys. That was a very entertaining one to watch, so thank you very much. Yeah, that other race that Ryu's talking about is going to start in about 10 minutes. It's our other playoff race featuring Beta Strep, Will Wagner Music, Jay Coper, some guy named Jack that Bri may have been talking about. I don't remember him, but he's in there too, I guess.
Well, I'd like to say thank you to all of our runners, as well as CD Improv doing our restream, and CyberDark86 doing our tracking, as well as my co-commentator here, Rye Guy.
Yep. Thank you for joining me, Ryu, and thank you to CD Improv and CyberDark for their tracking and restreaming, and thank you everyone for